Hey, everybody, and welcome to this evening's show. Thank you for joining me. We have a great guest plan for this evening. But before we start, uh, could you show us a little love? Follow us on Facebook at madefromscratchbroadcast.com. On Instagram, I'm at the underscore Gabriel. And you can follow me on Twitter, and it's a weird Twitter name, I know, but it's at gavesmywordvomit.com, or not.com, just at the at mark. I'm sorry. Uh, so just show us a little love. And if you're following on the YouTube Live, do us a favor, hit the like and subscribe button, leave a comment if you would like, and help us grow our audience. I would be really appreciative of it. So, um, going forward, let me go ahead and tell you about my guest. Um, she is a educator. She's a writer and she's an author of the Pika Bunny series. And she holds a bachelor's degree in education from the University of Tennessee. She's created an innovative series, learning series to teach us understanding and kindness. And she's also creating an app. She's got one already now, which is called the Pika Bunny Kindness Tracker app. And let me just show you a quick picture of this. There you go. You can find that on the Apple iTunes Store. You can find that on Google Play. Download it. It's for kids. And she's also about to launch her adult app for kindness on March 12th, I believe it is. So if you would give me a big round of applause and help me join my friend and a fellow pirate, she is Wendy Gilhula.
Hello, Gabriel.
How are you this
How are
evening?
you?
I am.
I'm great. Thank you so much.
Yes, I am wonderful. It's a good day, so I'm glad to be here with you. And this is for those of you who don't know, me and Wendy met on LinkedIn. We were both big fans of Russ Johns. If you guys don't follow Russ Johns, you're not doing yourself a favor. He is an awesome guy.
Yeah.
I call him the king of kindness because he loves to, he is about what he is. He's about kindness and gratitude, and he's such a good, caring dude. But again, I could go on about him, but we're here to talk about Wendy, who is a fellow pirate. She's been on his show before, and she is a kindness ambassador, is what I call her, because she is out there pushing the pavement for kindness. So, um,
I'm trying.
yeah. So thank you for coming on with me, Wendy, and I really do appreciate it. And look, check this out. We got a fellow pirate here. She's watching.
Sherry. Hello, Sherry.
Yes. So this is pretty awesome. Um,
Oh, it means
and
a lot. Tk you.
you know,
For,
so
I'm hoping not to break your show, Gabriel.
you're okay. You're okay. Whatever comes along, I'm prepared for it. So you know,
Okay.
let's go ahead and start in with first your big news. Next week, you're
Mhm.
debuting your adult kindness app. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. I'm kind of hesitant to use the word adult because I think, oh, I hope people don't think it's like rated R or
No.
anything for kindness. But
Yeah.
it is the adult version. I call it the workplace version.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited because it it's just being approved, and I just never have would have dreamt that I would have two apps, one app, now two apps, and there's going to be a series. So it stands for Practice Intentional Kindness App. So it tracks areas of kindness or your acts of kindness in the workplace, at home, and for our planet. And then this app for adults or workplace
Yeah.
will have a separate page where you can go and actually edit the tasks. So if there's a task that you know you could never do at your workplace because there's no chance for for it to happen, then you can edit your own and you can create your own list from this app. So I'm really really excited about it.
That's pretty cool. And then on top of that, you're going to be, I think, premiering it at MIT, something like that. for
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that's
They're
great.
having,
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
You know.
Yes, it's going to be, I'm going to have a table during their Random Acts of Kindness week. And I will be in the student center and telling everybody about the apps. And I can't, it's kind of like a dream come true. I can't even believe it. But my son actually, well, my son goes to school there. So I'm kind of a mom, but
Yeah.
um,
Still, I mean, you can't just like say I'm gonna fold out a table here and just present myself. So it's you
right.
know
Yeah. Right. You have to go through some hoops. So I was very, very fortunate that my son gave me that opportunity to do that.
so that's
They said, why do you want a table during our Random Acts of Kindness week? And I said, well, I'm an MIT mom and I have an app for kindness. And they were like, okay, here's the paperwork. And I was like,
right. I mean, it just flows naturally, right? I mean, what else do you need? You're talking about kindness week. Again, I'm about kindness. I'm about the kindness matter movement. I am the person, you know. So again, and then just real quick, you also have already created a kids tracker app
mm-hmm,
that
yeah,
you can and I actually have it installed on my kids apps. So
thank
when
you.
you sent me the information about it, so that's pretty cool. So my son and them, I have them mess around with it because there's certain things they can do on there that help mommy and daddy make our lives a little easier. And
I
you know,
try.
again, it's helping them along. And I'm about teaching them manners, and those kind of things kind of help instill them when they're young. They learn that and they carry that with them into adulthood, which is why I'm so glad that you created
Oh,
something like that. Because again, now's the time is when they ingrain it into their minds.
right, exactly.
They're still
It,
like a sponge.
it's funny because the reason why I created it was during one of my live readings via Skype for Microsoft Education and Skype to Learn.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to read, but I don't think the second graders, it was a group of second graders. I don't think they realized I was live. I don't
Yeah.
know. But I saw a boy be mean to a boy next to him.
Oh wow. That's
And I was
crazy.
like, And I thought, well, I got to say something. I'm going to say something, not maybe about it, but like I said, so you on the second row in the blue shirt. So I interrupted him. And he looked at me and I said, what does your shirt say? And he looked down and he goes, oh, my shirt says kindness is cool. And
Oh.
I thought, well, it was kind of ironic that he was being
A bull. Yeah.
mean while he was
Yeah.
wearing this kindness is cool shirt. He didn't catch on to it, which is fine. But I felt like I helped because I kind of broke it up, and some of the kids kind of like I could tell that they got the irony, and most of them didn't. But anyway, so I kept thinking about that and had inner dialogue about it. Like, how many times are we think we're kind or we're about kindness, but we're not really kind? And I went to sleep that night and I woke up and I thought, I don't know why I thought this, but I thought, I'm going to make an app where we can track our acts of kindness at school, home, and our planet. And then I remember looking down and watching my feet hit the floor. And I literally started researching that day. And that's how it happened. It happened because of that one boy wearing that t-shirt
Right.
about kindness and he was being unkind. So I don't remember what school he's in. I'd like to thank him.
Yeah. Yeah. Because now he's gonna be the reason that this gets out into the world. That's
Right.
pretty
And
cool.
I thought, well, I'll put it out there and it'll be free and, maybe nobody will want it and that's fine. But it's had such positive feedback. And then
Yeah.
Emily said from LinkedIn, can you do a workplace, for office? Because what she was doing was she was just taking the school and then she was substituting workplace for herself. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, I guess if I did one, I could do another. So I'm very,
Yeah.
very excited.
Yeah. So why stop, right? If you
Right. And it'll be
if you
free as well. So it's been
yeah.
a labor of love. And then I just realized that these are the starting blocks of a line of apps that are going to come out. So I'm
Yeah, and again, and that's incredible. And it all started with just a small idea, right? So that's
well,
what's
and one act of unkindness.
goodness. Well, I call it, and again, this is why I call my show that, because I call it made from scratch because it starts from idea, right?
Right.
Anybody
I
that's
like
creative
the
or
name.
any idea or anything like that, right? It has to start up here in the mind, and then you have to formulate a plan, then a goal, then a vision, and then
Right.
and finally it becomes reality. So
It,
this is
and then you look back and you're like, how did I do that? Of course I had
exactly.
help, but like where I remember taking the first baby step, but a lot of the baby steps in between I don't remember. But now all of a sudden it's like app two, and I just had my first app come out May of 2019.
That's awesome too. And again, you know, you start out with an idea. You don't know where it's going, where it's going to take you, but you just go along as the journey pushes you forward. You just go out there and see what's available, what happens, what the universe brings to you. And you started with one. Now you're talking about doing lines of apps, right?
Hmm.
So that's what's incredible. Is just when it starts out, it's just a small idea, and you turn it into your vision, and it becomes your goal, and it becomes your purpose and your passion. And it,
Yeah.
it's that simple, yet it's so hard to get to that point. It's so simple to say, gosh, but that's the whole thing when they say go find your passion, go find your purpose, go see what's available out there. This is the kind of what happened with me here and doing live streaming. And I a, a year and a half ago I could have never imagined myself doing something like this. I was,
Hmm.
even though I was a bit of an extrovert, and I could talk to people and have conversations. I just never thought, no, I can put all this together. I can do a show. I can do this or that. But I just my path just started leading me there. And again, it led me to, my path led me to LinkedIn. And finding LinkedIn has been like, you know, a ray of hope for me. It introduced me to a different world, a different set of people. It's I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know how to describe it, except it's you know people really caring, and sharing their ideas and their stories and their experiences. I think it's gone just beyond a professional sort of platform. I've actually made friendships there with people who
Me
I
too.
conversate. You're right, and you meet them in person. You're like, you know, I got to, I got to meet Lila Smith, and I know you've done things with her. I went to one of her workshops because I met her on LinkedIn, and
Right.
it
Exactly.
it was wonderful. Again, going taking it from online to an offline relationship and creating friends. I'm setting up a podcast to do with somebody I met on LinkedIn.
No.
So it's been incredible. It's an
I,
incredible platform, and I don't know why I tell people get on LinkedIn if you're not.
I do too. I do too. I don't know how I got back in. I signed up for LinkedIn years ago, and then thought like most people think, who haven't rediscovered LinkedIn, that it was just for when you're looking for a job. And I don't even know why I went on LinkedIn, but all of a sudden I was reading, like what's going on here? Like what is, and then I think I found Russ's
Yeah.
pirate broadcast.
Oh yeah.
And then I met you there. And then I don't know, you probably were watching longer than me, but you were one of the first people that I noticed that if they notice you
Yeah.
watching, you were saying hi. And I was like,
Yeah.
gosh, Gabriel, I called you Gabriel E because
Yeah.
Gabriel E
Yeah.
said hi to me. I was like, how do I say
Right.
hi back?
Yeah. Right.
Right.
So.
And then
I,
Sherry and Kristen and
oh.
Kenyatta and all the people
Oh
that
yeah.
are
Oh.
the
That's.
regulars that you look
Yeah.
for. And then when I wasn't there, one time this week because I wasn't feeling well, somebody noticed. I was like, "What? Somebody
Yeah.
noticed
They
I
go.
wasn't
Hey,
there?" It's like,
where's? That's what I'm looking for. Like, where's Wendy? Where's Wendy? I'm waiting. Yeah.
And
or
I get
somebody
that.
else doesn't show up. You go, hey, where's Lori or where's Vicky? Because
Right, right, right.
oh,
Or Shelly
well,
or
yeah,
wherever. Mhm.
whoever is there. Oh, as a matter of fact, she sent a question, and she wanted to know, why did you choose to create the app?
Oh well, I guess I did that one.
Yeah.
I hope you heard me.
Uh, I totally missed that question. I'm sorry, Shelly. We were just going really hard into the conversation, I guess. But you know, I tell people get on there, meet people, um, expand yourself, expand your network.
Right. I
Um,
tell my kids, my son's going to graduate next year. And I said, get on your LinkedIn and update your profile. He goes, why? I'm not looking for a job right now. I'm like, go
no
on
shit.
LinkedIn now and you'll see.
Yeah,
And then you can say that you're looking for work in 2021 or whatever, and just
yeah.
get back in there and get some connections.
And
And it took me about 10 minutes of him trying to get, like, mom doesn't know what she's doing. Mom doesn't know.
so the way I tell people, right, is when we start talking about this, and I ask them, do you know who Gary V is, right? And they go, yeah. And I show them this one video where he talks about LinkedIn becoming what Facebook was in 2012. And then that kind of
Yeah.
catches their eyes and they go, oh, maybe I need to get on there. I said, yeah, get on there because, again, there's so much going on there. It's not like what you think it is, where it's all about resumes and, you know, setting up interviews and just talking about it's a whole different It's become a real social media platform.
Yes, I'm not
And
on Facebook as much.
the
My
only
stepdad goes, "Where have you been?" I said, "Oh, I'm on LinkedIn."
well, again, and I tell everybody that I, I tell everybody that I came back to Facebook simply because I got to build an audience. That's really because again, I was gone from Facebook for a long time. I used to post a blog here regularly all the time, you know,
Yeah.
but I just didn't like something about it. Facebook had changed a little bit, and I just said, you know what, this is not for me. I need to
It
go
got,
look.
yeah. Don't you think it kind of got dark for a while?
It
Like
did.
a lot of negativity, and especially around the last election.
Yes,
And so all I did was scroll real quick, and if I saw pictures of puppies or babies or graduations, those are the ones I liked and responded to. So now my feed is all about puppies,
yeah,
kittens, babies, and
man,
graduations, which I love. So I actually love my Facebook now because I've
awesome.
kind of trained it
Yeah, and
to
again,
stay in the positive.
and I like your dog's name, Ruby Tuesday.
Ruby Tuesday. What? She's around here somewhere.
That's an
She's probably
awesome
napping
name.
behind the couch.
Oh, Sherry has another question, so I'll go ahead and ask it. She said, did you self-publish?
I did not self-publish. I am traditionally published by someone who has a publishing company that's normally self-publishing, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah,
So I do get the royalty thing, and she helps me a lot. So I have 3 books. I have 5 books with her. I have
yeah,
3 Pika Bunny books, Mother's Best, which is a rhyming book, and then I have a coloring book.
yeah. So again,
But I'm
when we
not
talk,
against self-publishing. A lot of people do it and love it.
yeah, that's the route I'm going. So when I publish my book, it's gonna be self-published. Um, and I have friends. I have different author friends. I've had a few on here, and we talked about that. And a lot of them like to go that route simply because they have a lot more freedom or control
Yeah,
whenever
true.
those sort of things. But with the traditional publishing house, though, you get the help of like editors. They do a lot of they take on a lot of the work you don't have to do yourself if you don't want to.
Well,
And
the editors will send it back and say, "Fix it." You're like, but I
yeah,
did that 12 times.
again,
How
yeah,
is the kids' book so hard? It is
right.
much more difficult than you would think.
Yeah. So speaking of kids' books, let's talk about the Pika Bunny series. So you have 3 children's books, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, for Pika Bunny, I do.
Yeah. And they've been published within the last 3 years, somewhere around there.
Yes, yeah. Pika Bunny and the Thunderstorm came out on Cinco de Mayo, 2017. So that's what I consider Pika Bunny's birthday. He
There you go.
celebrates on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then Pika Bunny and the Thunderstorm is about an approaching thunderstorm where Pika Bunny he's trying to decide if he's going to be scared about each of the approaching elements. And then the second book is Pika Bunny Has a Big Question, where he asks Mama what love is. And that came out in February 2018.
Yeah.
And then Pika Bunny Says Eep came out in 2019, but I forgot what, I think it was March. I can't remember which month. April. It was April.
April.
Yeah, there it is. Pika Bunny in the Thunderstorm. That my illustrator for the first two books is Adriana Allegretti, and then the illustrator for Pika Bunny Says Eep. That's about Pika Bunny helping a friend find the courage to say no to bullying. That one was just illustrated by Mel Schroederer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which Kristen Sherry, I told Kristen about Mel, and she's going to be Mel's now going to be working on her children's book, so I'm really happy about that.
The power of LinkedIn, right?
I know, right?
It's just there, and I tell every. So where did you actually come up with the concept of Pika Bunny, the character itself?
The character?
Yeah.
Well, can I give a little backstory first?
Go right ahead, please.
Okay. Well, Pika Bunny Has a Big Question is a manuscript I wrote almost 30 years ago. And I sent it off to a publisher, but it wasn't Pika Bunny. He was Jack. He was a white rabbit with long ears. And it got rejected because the publisher said that kindness was not relevant.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I've written something that's not relevant. I've sent it off to a New York publisher. Oh my gosh, what have I done? So I hid it in my dresser drawer for a very, very long time. So when I got courage to take it out and brush it off and look at it, I was thinking there's a lot of white bunnies with long ears, which is great, but let me do some research. So I was researching different rabbits, and I found the American pika, or you can say American pika.
Yeah.
And it's just been discovered in the United States within the past decade or so, or really there hasn't been an article written about it except for like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And if you put your two hands together and you look down in there, a little Pika Bunny would fit in your own two hands. And I love to tell the children about it. And I say it weighs 1.5 sticks of butter. And then I show a little video usually on YouTube, and they're just so adorable. And of course, then I found out that Pikachu is actually a pika or a pika, just drawn with the long ears.
Oh, wow.
So I thought if I can ever get a book published, I would love to read it to kids, of course.
Yeah.
And I would love to tell them about this little animal, the Pika Bunny, where scientists are trying to get them on the endangered species list. And I thought, oh, wouldn't that just be so much fun to help them discover a new animal? So that's where the character. So that was a long-winded answer. Sorry, Gabriel.
No, it's okay. I enjoy hearing the story. That's again because we all start out with an idea somewhere,
Right.
and like the story that I'm actually writing, I've had it in my mind for the last 2.5 years.
Right.
And I just it was just taking the time to actually say, you know what, I'm going to sit down and write the story, and create the characters again, because I think that's part of the fun part of writing, is creating these people out of thin air, and you get to define how these people are, what their characteristics are. So for me, that's the fun part about trying to write. It's just putting all of it together and making a story that goes from beginning to end. So, I tell everybody that has an idea like that and say, hey man, I don't think I can write. They say, well, have you tried? I mean, some people don't even attempt, and I tell them, I've had people tell me really great stories. Oh, I had this idea and I wanted to do this and that. And I said, write it down, put it down, get it down on paper.
Yeah.
Or, and create it into a story. And they said, well, I don't know. I'm just not a writer. And I say, oh man, come on. You know that one of my most favorite motivational speakers, his name is Les Brown. And he says one of the richest places on earth is the graveyard, because that's where ideas go to die, songs that aren't sung, stories that aren't told, music that's not played, because somebody didn't take the chance to follow their talent. And
Yeah.
and I tell everybody, man, I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? You can fail, you know.
Yeah, like nobody knew that I sent nobody knew I sent a manuscript. Nobody knew that I got rejected. Nobody knew that the publisher said it was not relevant. So when I got my manuscripts back out, it was still my little secret. Nobody had to know. And then when I sent it out, it got rejected again. But you know what? I had tougher skin because that first one, really hurt for too long. It
Yeah,
hurt for too long. But then, kind of glad it got rejected back then because now is when I think we need stories about kindness more. I think it definitely is relevant now. And I
yeah.
think it was just the right timing for it.
I
And
think
then when I told my family, they're like, "You what? You did what?" I said, "Oh, I'm making an app. I'm creating an app. I'm having an app created. I'm like, I've got this idea for an app." And they're like, "You're doing what?" Like, it's really fun when it's kind of your secret.
yeah, you know.
Just get a pencil out and start writing, or open your computer and just start typing. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just you just need to get it out there. Just have a little bit of courage, a little bit confidence in yourself, and know it can just be your secret. It can be your secret forever if you want, but at
Yeah,
least you finished it, or you have it down.
yeah.
Or then you can get some courage and maybe show it to a family member or a friend.
You know, and that's again, that's same sort of thing that I'm going through here. When I tell people what I'm doing here, and they go, "You're doing what?" I said, I'm doing it. I gotta explain to them. I said, I'm doing a live streaming broadcast. I said it goes out over to name your social media platform. Only reason I'm not on LinkedIn because they haven't granted me access yet, or else I would
But
be
it's
at the
coming, I'm sure.
yeah, you know. But again, I've replied twice already, so I'm gonna do it again once I get
Keep applying, keep
yeah
trying.
yeah once I get a catalog built up and say, look, I've got 20 episodes over here. So, I do have platforms, I do got a crowd. I don't have the
Then you can
fall.
say you have all these LinkedIn people that are on your show.
Yeah. So again, and it'll be a nice way because I enjoy that's the platform that I would really want to reach out on people is because that's where I've made a lot of the
Yeah.
connections that I have. So,
Yeah,
but again,
you made a big impact there. It's
yeah,
like, you're very easy to connect to. Um, you're very thoughtful. You're kind, of course.
yeah,
You're very kind. And I didn't expect it when I went up back on LinkedIn for by accident, whatever, a few months ago. I never ever. I mean,
it,
it's
it
just
would,
been amazing.
yeah, and again, you don't realize that when you're getting on there that you're getting on there to go find people. You're just going on there to whatever it is. You were looking for it. I tell everybody you're looking for hope. I go on there. I was looking for hope. I was looking for something. I didn't know what. I don't know what drove me back there, but something did. Something deep inside said, "Go back and just check it out." And I mean, I literally lurked for about 7, 8 months. I didn't say nothing, but I started following people. I started watching their videos and their content, and I go, "This is great, but man, more people should know about this." And then
Yeah.
finally, I worked up the courage to say, you know what, I want to be part of it, and I just jumped in.
Yeah, I remember you like, I'm trying my first live, and a lot of us were supporting you, like, do it,
Yeah,
do it. This is great, this is great. And then you did say, I'm thinking about doing. I remember when you say, I'm thinking about doing a podcast,
yeah,
and I'm like, oh, I hope he really does, because a lot of people will say that, but they're not ready to do it yet. But
yeah.
I feel like I feel like that was just yesterday. You said, I'm thinking about doing a podcast.
And it
And then
feels
Russ
like
was like, I'll help your brother.
yeah,
The next
and I,
thing I know, there,
and I,
I think this is number 8, right?
yeah, episode number 8.
That's
So
great.
so again,
Great 8, great 8.
yeah. So again when I sit down, I talk with I talk with my she's going to be my co-host for my podcast, and we talked about it. She goes, you need to set out goals. Get a kind of funnel your focus into what you want to do. So I wrote out a whole plan, and I said, you know what, you're right. I'm gonna write it down, and started going over here. And I said, you know what, that's it. And then I put it together, and I just said, now's the time. If I hesitate, if I think about it too much, I won't do it. So
Right, right.
I
You got to
just
just jump.
yeah. So again, it's like when you go swimming, right? You can either
Right,
dip your
exactly.
dip your feet in the water and feel what it's like and decide if you're gonna go, or you know what, you just jump in and get whatever sensation is there out of the way, and then you go to just enjoying yourself.
I think
It,
I saw, didn't I also see you on, I know I did, on Anna Sabino's podcast,
on,
Facebook page?
on Facebook page too. I've reached out to her. I've been following her a lot.
Yeah,
Uh,
she's amazing.
she's
Amazing.
I don't know what she did. She's okay. So she's like everywhere, right? She's not just on there. She's on Instagram. She's on. When I started following her, I just started following her on Facebook. Then I started looking for her on Instagram and Twitter, and then on LinkedIn. And I go, God, she posts
Yeah,
like
she's
she
everywhere.
she posts like all the time,
And then she's like, is she in New York or is she in Hawaii? I don't know.
It's not
Where's
here,
Anna? I'm not
you
sure.
know. So and that was the first time I said, you know what, I'm gonna try hopping onto a few podcasts. That's why I said I can do it, because I got onto a few, just a couple, just one or two, I think it was, and I said, I like the feeling. I'm gonna do it. So once I've said it, I can be a guest on here. We just again we're having a conversation. We're just talking, and it went pretty smooth. And I got off, and I had all the adrenaline rushing and the feeling, and I said, okay, I want to do this. I want to bring this to other people though. I want to be able to go out there and try it. And so again, that's when I just started formulating the idea for a podcast. And then I said, now I'm going to challenge myself even more, and I'm going to go do a live stream. And this whole year for me has been about challenges. What challenges am I going to face? So I'm going to go out and do public speaking. I've never done it before, um, but it's
That's one of
something.
my goals.
It's what I want to try to do next. So I'm going to start out doing it a few poetry reads with a friend of mine. She's the one that I've had her
Oh,
on my show, so she does. They do it all the time. They have constant poetry reads. She said, "Come on out, man. The people are real supportive. Nobody's going to judge you, and you can just
yeah,
go on there and read and share what you want to share." So I said, "Okay, you know what? Next time we do, I'm going to go." And again, my friend does a thing where he goes to different bars and they have readings there. And I said, you know what? I want to do that too. I want to read because I want to get in front of people. I don't, again, and I started talking about this just yesterday. I've always had a dream of being a show host. I always used to watch Johnny Carson, and I would always watch Steve Allen. Go back and watch older tapes. And I said, I love what those guys do because they get to sit there and talk to people, entertain, and have a good time. and
yeah,
that's
exactly.
one thing I said, and even now the guys who still do it, I go, it always seem like they're having a nice time, and it just happens to be there with celebrities. But again, I don't have to have it the celebrities, but I do like having the conversations. I like to,
Right. That's what I like too.
that's why I said I like meeting new people, and it's part of the fun part. It's just digging into everybody's story, and when everybody talks to me, I like to say, tell me about your story, because again, you're the one, you got value. We all have value. We all have a,
Right.
and I love it hearing other people talk. And here, even though I'm rambling right now, I love I love to hear other people talk and tell their stories because they're interesting. I was talking to a guy. He's a redwood farmer. I said, how do you become a redwood farmer?
Yeah.
You know, he goes, well, my mother and father were hippies, and they were real into environmental and nature. And he goes, you know what? I wanted to start planting redwoods. They cut down trees all the time, so I
Yeah.
started a redwood farm. And I said, cool, man. You're It's amazing. What you're doing is amazing, because that's, when somebody hands out a business card, hey, what do? Here you go. I'm a redwood farmer. What is
Yeah.
that?
I know exactly.
you know,
Yeah. How long does it take to see your the fruits of your labor.
favor, you
Like
know, and that
he'll be gone, and those trees will still be growing and growing.
going, and that's what he's doing. He said, I want to leave behind. I want to leave behind a legacy that goes just beyond me. It'll go to my kids, my grandkids. You
Yeah.
know, redwoods can live to 10,000 years. She said. Those
Yeah, I
can,
think a lot of people on LinkedIn and that we know, they want to have a legacy too. It's not just about career or job, it's beyond that. It's like, what can I do to maybe help somebody else?
hmm
What can I leave behind that will hopefully make a difference, even if it's just for one person?
hmm
It's really,
you know,
important to a lot of people.
as again as a writer, right? You don't know where it's going to take you or where it will happen to your work once you're gone, but it'll be there. I mean, nobody ever thought about F. Scott Fitzgerald and you reading The Great Gatsby in high school, and you know, he never thought that that's what the ultimate purpose would be, but it's there. No one
Right.
thought, Ernest Hemingway and The Old Man and the Sea would be something that would be a timeless classic and people would go back and read. You don't,
You
again,
know, and be a favorite forever and ever. Yeah, exactly.
so
And I didn't even get published till I was 52. And a lot of people are like, "Don't you want to retire?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want to retire. Not now." I mean, like, I'm got too many things I want to do than to retire. So, because when I get to my retirement home, I want all the good stories. I want to be like, I did that. And somebody else will say, yeah, I would did skydiving. And I would be like, no, I'm afraid of heights. I'm not doing skydiving. But, I want to try so many things that when I can't try anymore,
yeah,
new things, I'm not regretting anything.
and
And
that's
that's what I want to leave, the kind of a legacy I want to leave for my children is to, don't wait, just try. And it's okay if you fail. It's okay if you
yeah,
get rejected. It's okay if somebody says you're not relevant.
yeah,
Don't believe them,
yeah,
and have no regrets.
exactly. And that's again, I support people that my actually here's a friend of mine who we grew up together, went to the same school. Both his kids are musicians, or they're in the music industry, and he supports them. He's like one of the most supportive fathers. He goes in there, and he gets into their helping them in their career, and not his kids, but other people, other artists, and
Yeah.
again, he's like really supportive. He always shares all their stuff and everything else, and he's not getting anything out of it except he's helping his,
He's
he's
making a difference because when I was in dance for almost 2 decades, there are a lot of people who will not support you. So,
yeah,
just they don't care, and they're like, "Why are you doing that? Like, why aren't you trying, do something else?" I'm like, "Well, I love it." So just sometimes when you just, especially if they're young people, they might not have somebody in their family who supports them, or maybe they do, but if when you can support a young person, it really, really means a difference, especially these days when a
yeah,
lot of kids, because I mentor high school kids,
yeah.
and a lot
Well,
of them are, they're supported at home, but there's still a lot of loneliness.
yeah.
So kindness can go a long way.
Well, exactly, and it all circles back around to doing that.
Yeah.
Just being that one voice.
Do you,
That tells that person, hey man, I care. You're awesome.
Gabriel,
Um,
do you know that some people, and this is fine, I'm, but do you know how many, I don't know how many times I've been asked, why are you doing an app for kindness?
yeah,
And I'm like, oh, well,
I,
you don't
I,
have to get it. It's okay.
yeah. Again, and you know, I, I think that this world is missing a lot of that. That's why I, I don't, I don't pay attention to the negative anymore. My mindset is just all positive. So it's about my life is about kindness and gratitude and being gracious and merciful because it goes back to my faith. Um, my whenever I felt lost, I went and really pushed myself into my faith. And
Right. Me too.
those are the things that God told me that I needed to start doing. You know, so it's all about, for me, is about learning and understanding. And my I don't judge. It's not my place to judge. My thing is to just go out there and say, if you need help, if you need kindness, if you need love, if you need attention, just reach out, man. I'm there. A phone call, a text.
Sometimes people just need to know that there's somebody that they can text. They
Yeah,
necessarily don't need to, but just the thought of knowing, well, I could reach out to Gabriel E, because that's what I call you, because in he would answer back. He
yeah,
know he notices.
yeah.
You know he
And,
notices when I'm not
you know,
around.
and
Thank you.
yesterday I got on here and I posted my cell phone number. And again, you just reach out to me. I'll respond back to you. Again, if you're just needing a voice or you're needing somebody to talk to, whatever, and you don't want to have a conversation about doing live broadcast, whatever it is, if you just want to have a conversation and talk about you, let's do it, because I'm all for it. Again, you know, I tell people that whenever you feel lost, that's all you're looking for, is you're looking for that one person, that one. So again, you go back to,
Yeah.
if I could just make a difference in one person's life today, I've done enough. And and again, it's like, I don't like to brag about these things, but like yesterday, it was a homeless man who didn't have nothing to eat. So I gave him my lunch. Here you go,
Oh,
dude. Um,
that's awesome.
I'll have an opportunity to eat later. I don't know if you will. So, here, take it all, whatever I have. And I gave him $5. Go, whatever. I just hope you're there. And what I used to do is I used to carry around small Bibles. This is a small little New Testament. And I would just see if people were really looking for that. I would put a $20 bill and I would stop at a stoplight and I would see people asking for money. And I would hand them a Bible with $20 in, and they didn't know it was in there. I just say, and I tell them, your answer and your salvation is inside this book if you take it. And the small
Where did you put the $20 bill? I'm just curious.
I would always just put it right there in between the New Test, right there at the
Oh, no,
where the
no
letters.
specific like
No specific no specific verse or anything, but I would always just try to put it like right at the beginning of
the New
the
Testament.
the letters of Paul, and all to the Corinthians and everything, Romans. I would always pick one of the books to put it right there in the front, and I would just fold it down and stick it in there and hand it to him and say, "Here you go." Because again, and the ones that would really take it and whatever, and I would hope, and I would just pray, I hope they find it, and I hope it really helps them along their way.
And that's a mission of yours.
Again, and that's all it is.
Mhm.
It's just as simple as that. I mean, because again, to me, that money will come back. God, you share His abundance, He'll share His abundance with you. So,
Yeah.
um, again, I went through a whole lot of change, and again, this is where it's manifested me to lead me
Right.
here to do this again. And I created this here in this forum so that I can, if anybody ever want, I've told everybody, you ever want to come on? You got a message to share? You got something you want to talk about? Come on, man. Uh, Forum's open. I'll share it
Do,
with you. So go
do
ahead,
you
go ahead.
do you have a mission statement? My mission statement is to help children and adults navigate a difficult world, and that kind of helps me have an umbrella for if somebody has a project that they may want to collaborate with me or something. I have to think, okay, does this fit? Does this fit what my mission is?
Yeah,
And it kind of helps me stay on track because I could be like, yeah, sure, sure, yeah, yeah. And then I'm all over the place more than I normally am, which is not
yeah.
good.
And that's something I need to formulate one.
It
Truthfully,
really helps me.
I don't have a mission statement. So that's why, again, people tell me focus it a little bit so you can get it there down.
Oh,
So
that would
stop.
be a mission statement. You can
Yeah,
always tweak it, change it, as you grow. But
exactly.
I'm not telling you you need to do that. I'm just saying I was wondering if you had one because
I have.
I had one. I guess I formed it in October or November. It really
Yeah.
helps me.
Again, and that goes back to just trying to figure out where this is going to take me. I don't. Again, when I first started, like, I tell everybody, I didn't have a plan. I didn't. I just dove in, and if something starts formulating along the way, and I can start again, and I'm starting to see that little by little, it's starting to get where I can say, okay, this is the focus of what I'm supposed to be doing, right?
Are
So
people already asking you for advice on starting their own podcasts? Like, are they saying, "How did you do it? What do you use?" Are you already are you already paying it forward again? I
yeah,
bet you
oh
are,
yeah, oh
and you
yeah,
will be more.
I've had a few people, and I tell them, hey, look, here's my email, here's my phone number. I can write down a few links for you, right, to where everything is. But if you want help for a little bit further help, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
And like, I met a gentleman yesterday. So what his thing is, he does financial literature and coaching, and he'd actually written a book, but he was sitting in an office max behind a stand, and then there's nothing wrong with that. But I said, hey, dude, you have a forum to spread your message, and it's free, that you can reach out to tons of people and cast your net a lot wider than somebody walking through a door. So I said, you don't have to wait for the world to come to you. You can go to the world and spread it all out. And I said, I'll help you out. And I wrote it down, and then we exchanged messages. We had like a 30-minute conversation in there. And he said, I'll be in contact with you. And I said, because somebody taught me this. Russ
Right.
taught me this.
Right. Do you follow Nelson Toriano or Michelle or Shell Shapiro? Just
Yes, I do.
watching them grow
Yes.
is really inspiring. It's like, well,
Yes.
if you feel
Nelson.
like you're kind of plateauing, you're just make sure you've
Yeah.
seen their latest, and you're
Oh,
like, oh, all right,
yeah.
Nelson
So,
up this game.
yes,
He's inspired me.
I've heard Nelson on a few of the podcasts before. So, I when we first started, that's kind of like what I do. That's my MO. Is when I connect with somebody, I go dig a little bit deeper, especially if
Well,
it's.
it's funny because I don't belong to a gym. Maybe I should. Not his book is about uh,
Yeah.
being finances, about being a personal
Real
trainer. I'm
trainer.
not a
Yeah.
personal trainer, but I still like to follow him.
Yeah. And
Richard
again,
Moore, he's in sales. I follow him. I watch his lives, but I'm not a salesperson. But
yeah, you know, but again, it's about they're interesting people,
yeah,
and their story has something that connects with either you or me or what they're talking about. So again, I hear something and I hear a key word, it sticks in my brain. I go, wait a minute, let me hear that. Say that again. Let's.
yeah,
I, I,
exactly.
I,
How
I,
can I apply that?
exactly right. So
Right.
that's where I take my cues to say that interests me. I want to know a little bit more. And
Right before I join a podcast, my heart is racing, and I think to myself, "Why did I do this? Why did I do this? I can't do this. Why am I doing what?" And my husband's like, "Oh my gosh,
yeah,
just calm down." I'm like, "Okay, okay, okay," because I'm excited, but then I'm terrified at the same time. Like, what if I say something stupid? Well, you're going to say something stupid. That's okay.
yeah,
Hopefully, it won't be more than 100 things that are stupid.
yeah,
But yeah, but once you connect, then you get a rush. It's like, wow, like this is really happening. I'm talking to Gabriel Eve.
yeah. And let me tell you what, it's after I hit about the 10-minute mark. Okay, conversation's going. I at that point I'm already calm, but it's always a startup. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
It's
I
always
know. It's
I
like this jitter.
I still get
Mm,
yeah I still get the butterflies. And I've talked to there's a guy that I talked to, and he's got a podcast. And he's got like over 100 episodes. And I said,
wow.
when do you get used to it? And he goes, you don't. He goes, you don't get used to it. You still have the butterflies because you're always worrying if you're going to make that mistake or not. But what separates the difference is you learn how to push past it. He goes,
Yeah.
you'll learn. He goes, I still get the. He goes, I've done 100 episodes, dude, and I still get that little jittery before each and every time I do a podcast. And he goes,
Well, I
"Uh-uh.
try to. Sorry.
No, 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 no."
I try not to focus. Like I try to make it into a positive thing. Like, okay, I'm not afraid. I'm excited. Like
Yeah,
it's a lot of people think it's anxiety, but it could be actually excitement
yeah,
disguised as anxiety.
yeah. But it's you get to the point where it goes away. After a
Yeah.
while, you start talking, and then that's where the good conversation starts. That's where all the jitteries are out of the way, and you're just like we're doing now. Like now, I'm fine. I'm 100% great. We're laughing, we're smiling, we're having a good time. This is what it's about. When I tell everybody, don't take it because I've had people that I've asked to be guests on, and they get self conscious about being on camera. And I said, look, get. I said, once you get past the first 5 minutes, you'll ignore that the camera's there. You'll start having a conversation with the person. And I
Yeah, I
said,
don't look at myself. That helps. I don't look at
you know,
myself.
you know. And here's the funny thing: I don't watch the video after I'm done. I'll listen to the audio. I'll go down and I'll go back and listen to it again. I don't like to watch it again. I like to just hear it and go, okay, I can work on this and I'll write down little notes here and there. Da, 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 da. I can change that. But watching it, I get, I don't know. I just get go, cover my face and I go, I can't do it again. I lived it. So,
Right.
but again with the audio, uh, oh, you can't hear my mic. What's going on? I got a comment here. Ooh,
Oh,
wow. Okay.
I
Well,
I can hear you. I don't know, but maybe it's because I'm on live stream.
yeah, maybe.
Who else is here? Can you tell?
Yeah, there's actually, let's see, who is here? So, Kat Daniels,
Oh my God.
Lauren, yeah. I don't know if you've Stephanie Lauren Bacot. We actually met at the workshop that Lila had, so she kind of follows me. And then I got a few friends and family that are on here. Again, my friend Frank.
Oh, you got
Yeah.
support from friends and family.
So let's
Oh, that's wonderful.
cool. So again, let me check something real quick while I'm doing this to make sure my audio is on. Oh no. I bet that's what it was. Okay. I bet they hear me now. Okay, cool. No, what it was is gosh, I had my mic switched off a little bit. So
The whole time?
I guess so.
Oh no.
Well, I think they've heard you. They've heard you talking. They haven't heard me talking. But again, this is the beauty of live streaming, folks. You can't
Yeah, I apologize to everyone.
say, okay. But hey, that's the thing about live streaming, everybody. That's why you got to go back and check. And I'll have my daughter here next time. She's my technical director. So what we usually do is I have a dual cord. So when it plugs into my mic, I hear the audio back and I hear you, and then she can hear me. So she lets me know cues on certain things and that sort of thing. So I'm used to having her here, but tonight she had homework and
Yeah, that homework gets in the way. If
blah
you just let
blah.
me do her math homework for her, to help.
Well, I think she actually she had a diorama to do, so that's what she was doing tonight. So
Times.
yeah. But again, here's the audio, so I'm pretty sure you'll hear me. And those who've been listening, and I'll transcribe it. I can transcribe. That's another thing about StreamYard. You can transcribe the audio. Pretty awesome, right? So I can go ahead and put it into captions into the conversation. So even if they're watching it on YouTube live, or they can go back on YouTube and watch the video again, the captions will be there. So thank you, captions.
Perfect.
Yeah. Again, so not all hope is lost, folks. Again, this is the wonderful thing about live. And this is why I said I have to go and do this, because this would have been worse if it would have been just all audio and I was doing this on a podcast, because then we would have nothing. I wouldn't have nothing. At least I have a video to go along with it, and I can transcribe the captions, so at least they'll be able to read along what we're saying, and they can hear you. You're fine. Your stream's coming along. It's just my part they couldn't hear. So sorry, folks. But On that note, I guess since we've been here this long, and we're gonna do, you know what? I'm gonna do this again with you, Wendy. We'll figure this out another day, and we'll do this again. And
So,
but real quick before I go, everybody, if you don't know about Wendy, she is a Tennessean. And if you knew about the tragedies that happened a few days ago with the tornadoes uh, ripping through Nashville, 27 people, I believe, lost their lives, and a lot of people were uprooted because of these tragedies. So, you know, I love to social support and help. So, if anybody's out there and they would love to donate to the cause, just go visit the www.redcross.org, and or you can call 1-800-RED-CROSS or text them. They make it so easy for you to 90999, and you can make a $10 donation, and it will go to helping those people trying to, you know, rebuild their lives, because that's something that I would hate to have to go through, and it's something you don't expect to ever happen. Again, that's why I say precious. Life is precious as it can be, and you got to take it for what it is every day. So, thank you again, Wendy, for hopping on. And guys, if you want to check her out, check out her fine work. She can check out all her children's book, the Pika Bunny series. You can also check out her app, which is available now to download already on the Apple iTunes Store. You can go to the Google Play Store and download it on your phones. And the workplace.
Yeah. Please leave a review. Please download and leave a review. It's very, very helpful. Thank you.
There you go. And then the workplace app is coming out next week on March 12th. So follow Wendy along, get on her webpage, and you know, you can have yourself the workplace app, and then you can instill it into your life. And again, it's, you know, you can change it up, can't you? You can change
the children's you can't change up. You can, but I do a good deed in each of the sections for school.
Yeah.
And plan it. But yeah. the adult version, the workplace version, I like that term. The workplace version, you'll be able to edit. So I'm excited for that.
There you go, people. So check it out. March 12th. Wendy, thank you for coming on. We'll have this again. And I'm sorry, folks. I do apologize. But again, I'm learning as we go along. And that's the whole thing. Just have a little fun with it. So until tomorrow, I'm going to give a little hug for my tomorrow's guest. Her name is Catalina Madrano. Me and her grew up together. She is another friend, but she's also an author. But I don't know how I grew up with so many authors. I have like 6 friends that are just published authors, and yet I'm trying to join them. So she's a published author, but she's also an educator like you, Wendy. She's a teacher, and she teaches. She's also an advocate for minorities' rights and a few other things. She's really out there, you know, pushing her cause. So I'm going to have her on tomorrow. We're going to have a nice little talk, and this time with audio. So again, everybody, thank you.
Oh, sorry. Does she teach elementary?
Yes. As a matter of fact,
I do free readings for Skype, so maybe she might be interested in a book about kindness.
There we go. We can reach out. Yeah, we'll reach out and see. We never know. That's the power of networking. So thank you again, Wendy. Thank you, everybody, for hopping along. Oh, let's see. I got a comment. Wait, let's see. Yeah, we know. Oh, we could hear you. It was just low. Oh, okay.
Oh,